Well, hi, this is Marilyn Price, who you can't see yet until I raise the flag, with a special Independence Day, 4th of July programming honoring the equality of the red, white, and blue goose. Now, Mrs. Goose is, oh, would you like to see her? Yeah, you probably have kind of, you've got the flag. So we're going to raise the flag and meet a new friend. Oh, that's not me. I'm not a new friend. I've been around for tiny little bit. So, what I brought along today is Mrs. Goose often says to me, I'm lonely, I need a friend. Or she says, quack, 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 honk, 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 I need a friend. And I say, okay, well, what do you want? She said, well, I know that the colors are red, white, and blue, especially on the 4th of July. Very important. They have to do with our beautiful flag, stripes and stars, a star for each state. So we thought we would honor the red, white, and blue and the equal rights of all geese to tell you a couple of things, especially a poem that I just found that I thought you should meet. But I'm bringing to you today something that I don't hardly ever bring to this program, and that is string puppet. So he's not a complicated, he's not an easy puppet, but he's also not very complicated. So I thought I'd teach you a little bit about string puppets. Sometimes they're called marionettes, but the real name is string puppet, and that means what? They're moved with strings. The word marionette itself, you should know because that's what mentors do, right? Teach means Little Mary. And it came from programs that were done on the gospel stories, Jesus, Joseph, and Mary, and in Italy. And the et was Little Mary. So but I call them string puppets because they're moved with strings. So the control itself has a name. The control means that what makes things work. So this is called an airplane control because of the faint resemblance to an airplane. And each of the strings has a job, kind of like me and you. And in a little bit, I'm going to stand up and move away from the camera so that you can see how this incredibly funky puppet moves. Okay, I'm even going to move it's a little bit shaky there apart. So here we go. You're going to get this one real easy. This string here, that moves his head. And these strings here, they move his legs. He only has two, but that's all he needs because he's got me and the controls. And then he has one back here. That's called the back string, or some people call it the bow string. And he does not have a tail string, which is too bad because then he could shake his tail. So I'm going to stand up and try to get him to move a little bit just for you. Okay, here we go. You're also going to see my feet. No, don't see my feet, just see my legs. Okay, you ready, buddy? You need to be a little bit higher. Oh, nice job. Okay, so this is what happens. When I raise this part, he raises his leg. And because he's a very clever puppet, he can wave his leg at you. And then when I wave this string, he can wave the other leg. Hello. And if I move them both up, which I would need to do with my hand, he could do that. He could even, oh, looks like he's applauding. Yay for me, hooray for the red, white, and blue goose. Okay. And the last string, which I mentioned to you, is on his back. And when I pull it up really straight, his head goes down and he takes a bow. Awesome job, Mr. Puppet. So he's all ready to be in a parade. I love a parade. I love a parade. I love a parade. Okay, one more bow. Nice job. He's not a goose, actually, but we called him a goose because it fits our theme of the red, white, and blue goose. All right, so we're going to put him over here. And then I'm going to get my friend, our friend, Mrs. Goose, to come right down here so that she and I can read you a poem. So, not so very long ago, a book was written called Father Gander. Now, a gander is a male goose. And somebody, and I'll even tell you his name, decided that Mrs. Goose actually needed, well, Mother Goose is her name. My puppet's name is Mrs. Goose. Needed a friend. So this book was written by Father Gandon. So what does that mean? I think the author's name is his name, with full page illustrations by Carolyn. So I thank you, Father Gandon, and Cool. So this is why he wrote it. He wanted equal rights for Father Geese. And he's given them. He's taken some of the very classic poems, little short poems, and added a little bit of male to them. So allow me to get Mrs. Goose up here so she can help me read these stories. One of my faves, you will recognize from, hi, Mrs. Goose. Happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day. Did you see who's out there? Very nice of you to wave. Oh, you love, I do too. It's really awesome time. So here is the first one he wrote. Well, it's in the book, so you want to listen or you want to help me? You don't feel like reading today? You feel like listening? Well, that's really good because everybody needs to do that. So we read a couple of these and then I'm going to read a longer one to you and to the goose. She's going to listen intently. Then I'm going to give you some homework. But it's homework in the true sense of the word. I want you to do it at home. That would mean that you could sit around and think about some of these Mother Goose rhymes and how you can move them around a little bit to be a little bit more inclusive. All right? You can do this. So here is one of my faves. Ready? You want to read the words? You want to look at the words with me? Okay. Jack be nimble. Jack be quick. Jack jump over the candlestick. Jill be nimble. Jump it too. If Jack can do it, so can you. That's the kind of messages we're given for boys and girls. Okay, nice job, Mrs. Goose. Should we read another one? She liked that one. I think she likes the ones where everybody is kind of this. Oh, here's one. You should like this. Little boy blue, come blow your horn. The sheep's in the meadow and the cow's in the corn. But where is the boy who looks after the sheep? He's under the haystack, fast asleep. Little girl green, come sound the alarm. The fox in the nest and the chickens he'll harm. But where is the girl who tends to the nest? She's up in the hayloft, taking a rest. I can certainly understand that one. So let's try maybe just one other little familiar one. Oh, here it goes. You're going to love this one, Mrs. Goose, because I think sometimes you're contrary. You know what contrary means? Yeah. You know what contrary means, Mrs. Goose? You do. Sort of against whatever it is I say. If I say green, you'd say no. If I say blue, you'd say red. Yeah, that's contrary. Mary, Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row. Larry, Larry, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? With white jonquils and daffodils and snapdragons all in a row. Isn't that pretty? Can you just see the flowers? Okay, Mrs. Goose, you have done a splendid job. And now we're going to read to everyone about the family geese. That's your goose family and mine. Ready? You want to read any words? No? Okay. Old Mother Goose, when she wanted to wander, would fly through the air with a very fine gander. Old Father Gander, you soon well deduce. Love that fine woman, Old Mother Goose. The pair would discuss on their long flights around all the friends that they had, all the joys they had found. They both had their dreams and their hopes and their needs, and each let the other pursue them indeed. They thus found fulfillment apart and together, for at home or away they were birds of a feather. They were each for each other, equals the same. He kept his gander, she kept her last name. They planned a nice family and loved it with care. They both gave it nurture, the parenting shared. They gave equal chances for adventure and joy to their little goose daughter and their little goose boy. And all of the family shared this same notion that each would communicate healthy emotion. When they made a commitment, they stuck to their word, and yet when they finished, no bragging was heard. Took care of the earth and their books on the shelves, took care of the air, and took care of themselves. They treated their neighbors as sisters and brothers. They cared for their family and all of the others. Respecting all cultures, all women and men, they offered goodwill to their precious new friends. They hope you will join them and try to be good. That's why they wrote this book, the best that they could. And now that you've finished this quaint little piece, you're sure to know better. The family geese. Isn't that nice? Such a good, strong message for the 4th of July, Independence Day. Taking care of not just each other, but taking care of ourselves and all those around us. So for myself and for the Mentor Project, and of course for our Blue Goose who is visiting today as part of our Goose Tales series, I thank you for coming, and I hope you have a safe and happy Independence Day. And by the way, every other day of the year as well. So thank you. Mrs. Goose, would you mind if I push the button? No? Thank you so much. Or did you want to do it? You want to blow them a kiss while I do that? Okay, get ready, everybody.